The game is simplicity itself. Each player will present a short lecture on a given subject, which will be largely composed of lies. However, each has been equipped with 5 unlikely but completely true pieces of information which they should attempt to sneak past their opponents, who can score points by spotting them. However, if they challenge incorrectly, they'll forfeit a point. Let's kick off with Tony Hawks. Tony is a comedian and musician who once had a #1 in Australia, and that's a long way to go with your legs crossed. Tony, your subject is the bra or brassiere, an article of clothing that covers, supports and elevates the breasts. Off you go, Tony.
The bra dates back to 500 BC. Not everyone thought that making your breasts bigger made you more attractive. Phoenician women actually wore a breastband which minimised their chest size.
Yes, Marcus?
I suspect that's probably true.
It's not. No, it's nearly true.
Well,
Tony's been a bit sneaky. Apparently the ancient Greek and Roman women wore a breastband that minimised their chest size.
I think we should give him a point.
There's an element of truth
Yes.
in the notion that not everybody thinks that breasts make you look more attractive. For example, a woman I met told me that my breasts made me significantly less attractive to her. So I know that to be true.
There's no justice, is there? All right, that is true. You can have a point for that.
But it was the Germanic people in the 16th century who really got to grips with bras. Just outside Hanover, a particularly well-endowed woman had breasts which were considered something of a social nuisance. So local inventor Klaus Schlesinger came up with a solution which would halt the offending bust from knocking people's drinks over. Still today, the German word for bra is Bustenhalter. Over the years, bras have been used for all sorts of different purposes. In Portland, Ohio, bras have been used by men as offensive weapons, as they ritually spar with them, slapping each other across the faces, usually after a heavy night's drinking. Sometimes, bras have even been used as a means of preserving life. When opinion turned against her in the Philippines, Imelda Marcos wore a bulletproof bra. It was the coming of the moving picture.
Yes, Neil.
I think that's true.
What is?
The thing that he said that was true.
Well,
Prior to my buzz.
Yeah.
The bulletproof bar for Imelda Marcos.
yes, that is true. Yeah.
It was the coming of the moving picture which began to bring the bra worldwide recognition. Film actresses loved wearing them so much that they became incredibly popular with women in Hollywood. And it was actually the Warner Brothers Corset Company which introduced the alphabet bra with cup sizes A to D in 1935.
Frankie.
Sounds true, it's probably not.
It is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
In 1950s Britain, manufacturers still labelled bust sizes junior, medium, full and full with wide waist. The sizes being popularly known as egg cup, coffee cup, tea cup and challenge cup. In Canada in the 1960s, an eccentric fashion designer, Rudy Kramer, invented a bra which had a battery inside, which meant that the bra could be inflated. When the wearer of the bra met a man who she wished to impress, she could operate the bra inflator by pressing a button which was concealed in a pocket.
Frankie.
I seem to remember meeting women like this when I used to drink. Definitely those breasts seem bigger at certain times than others, so this sounds true.
Right. I'm afraid it's not true. Maybe it is true when you're drinking a lot, but that would be a different game altogether. What seems true when you're hammered?
Fans of the film The Aviator will be interested to learn that Howard Hughes also used his aeronautical engineering knowledge to design the first cantilevered push-up seamless bra for the then unknown starlet Jane Russell. Finally, on a...
Yes, Frankie.
I reckon that's true.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I'm clawing my way back to 0 points.
Finally, on a personal note, I would like to state that I can undo a bra whilst simultaneously pouring a glass of wine, undoing the top 4 buttons of my shirt and singing Tonight's the Night by Rod Stewart.
Frankie.
He has that look about him. It is a very tricky thing, but I mean, I remember in my teenage years finding it very difficult to undo bras, and then finally working out that the girls I was with were wearing a different type of bra from my gran.
You should really compile these insights into your early life. The drink making people's breasts fluctuate, the memories of your gran's bra, into a wonderful book that people could burn. But unfortunately, as far as we know, and Tony and I did have an evening out to test this, in which I wore a bra, and no, he can't do that, so that's not true. But thank you, Tony. So, Tony, in that round you managed to smuggle 2 truths past the rest of the panel. They are that the German word for bra is Bustenhalter, or I suppose it should be Bustenhalter, and that in 1950s Britain, manufacturers still labelled bust sizes junior, medium, full and full with wide waist, and they were popularly known as egg cup, coffee cup, tea cup and challenge cup. Which means you scored 2 points. That was the bra or brassiere. Rather confusingly, brassiere is not the French word for brassiere. In France, a brassiere is a small child's vest. So probably best not to go into a French clothes shop and say, I want to buy a sexy brassiere for my girlfriend. OK, we turn now to Frankie Boyle. Frankie is so irritated by constantly being mistaken for one of the Proclaimers, his agent has threatened that if anyone makes any Proclaimers-based jokes today, he'll walk. What, 500 miles, Frankie? Your subject, Frankie, is hemp, the common name for plants belonging to the genus cannabis. Fingers on buzzers, everyone else. Off you go, Frankie.
A recent survey shows that most Americans think that hemp is a disease.
Tony.
Well, that's got to be true, hasn't it?
Almost all sentences beginning, most Americans think, are actually true. But not this one. They don't think that. No.
Right.
But maybe they could be made to. Carry on, Frankie.
Yet from 1776 to 1937, textiles made from hemp were common. For example, the original...
Neil.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yes, it is true. And Frankie was going to go on to say...
The original Levi jeans were made from hemp.
And that is all part of that same truth.
Thank you much.
Yeah.
From 1631 until the early 1800s, hemp was used as legal tender in the United States, with which one could buy goods and pay bills.
Tony.
Well, I'm sticking with my American theme of that being the case, and I think that is the case in America in that time.
Yes, that is the case. Yeah, well done.
Hemp also has a long history in Europe. It might be an old wives' tale, but the creations still say that a fistful of hemp rubbed on a hen's barn can turn an entire village gay. In Spain, hemp seed is often fed to birds and is said to make them believe that they can fly. In Norse mythology, the thunder god Thor was also the god of hemp, although even among the Vikings themselves, barely anybody knew or cared about this.
Tony.
I think that's true.
That Thor was the god of hemp,
Yes.
and that the Vikings didn't care.
Well, why would you care?
Well, I think in the days when people had all sorts of crazy gods they believed in, they did care. People didn't just have we've got a god of thunder, but, you know, it's not a big thing.
The way this is going, I suspect I'm wrong, aren't I?
Yeah, you are wrong. Yeah.
The most effective way to absorb cannabis is actually by using it as a shampoo.
Marcus.
I wish I'd never buzzed, but yes, go on. Yeah, I'll have a go at that. Why not?
That's the best way to absorb cannabis is as a shampoo.
Well, look, in my wild youth, I tried smoking it, I tried taking it in cake form, and, oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're quite right.
Nobody
My overuse of it then means that I now believe that if you rub it into the top of your scalp, it goes straight into the brain.
I'm sure it's been tried, but it doesn't work. You're better off smoking it or eating it in a cake, kids. So stick to that.
I could see you as the voice of the drugs marketing board, David.
Yes. And I think there should be a big sort of sort of drug den next to the super casino? Let's make everything allowed that's bad for people.
There is. Manchester.
Hemp has been used in all Marks and Spencer's pyjama cords since 1998. Illegally.
Tony,
I think that's true.
that Marks and Spencer have illegally used
Well-
in a big company like that, they probably don't bother about little things like the law, do they? You know,
Again, I don't like the way this is going.
yeah. We'll go with their range of pullovers made out of smack. No, it's not true, I'm afraid.
How much hemp would it take to fill the Grand Canyon? Nobody has ever bothered to work it out.
Marcus.
I think that that's true. No one has ever bothered to work out how much hemp it would take to fill the Grand Canyon.
I mean, I must say that's not one of the facts we gave,
No.
Frankie, but that might be true. I mean, people have bothered to work out a lot of things, like in terms of baked beans and coastline and that sort of thing.
I know how
but-
many Americans it takes to fill the Grand Canyon. It's 4.
But okay, you can have a point, Marcus. Though.
Thank you.
Alice in Wonderland was originally printed on hemp paper. Its author, Lewis Carroll, was a frequent marijuana smoker.
Marcus.
Must have been.
Yep, he was. Of
course.
Totally true.
Yeah.
As is I think, the fact that Alice in Wonderland was originally printed on hemp paper, but that's less interesting than the druggy writer writing his weird, incomprehensible book that scared me as a child.
Vincent van Gogh, Rembrandt and Gainsborough painted on hemp canvases. The author Geoffrey Archer always writes on hemp. His pen, a frozen sharpened turd. The American Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper, with discarded drafts being made into primitive lingerie.
Thank you, Frankie. So, Frankie, in that round you've managed to smuggle 2 of your official truths past the panel. It is true that Vincent van Gogh, Rembrandt and Gainsborough painted on hemp canvases, and that the American Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper, which is interesting but not funny. So that means you've scored 2 points. It is well documented that Queen Victoria used cannabis resin to treat cramps caused by her monthly cycle. You'd have thought someone could have just lowered her saddle. Right, it's now the turn of Neil Malarkey. Neil is a comedian, actor and master of the art of improvisation who recently completed a very short run in The Mousetrap after opening with the line, "I'm Police Sergeant Malarkey and I did it." Your subject, Neil, is barcodes, the barcode being a series of vertical bars of varying widths representing the numbers 0 to 9, commonly found on consumer products that can be read by a laser scanner. Fingers on buzzers, the rest of you. Off you go, Neil.
The barcode was invented by Baron Felix von Barcode in 1789 as a response to the French Revolution. But he was ignored because he was a bit annoying and had a pushy girlfriend. This meant that he didn't get to hang with the cool inventor crowd like Michael Electricity and Sir William Shaving Foam. Things actually took off in 1949 when Norman Joseph Woodland made a handprint in sand and realised that bars could be a visual equivalent of Morse code.
Tony.
That sounds fairly plausible to me.
Yes, it is.
Ah.
That's true.
The first barcode scanners were the size of a washing machine because they contained components that had to be water-cooled. Stray dog hairs would affect reading.
Tony.
I think that's also true as well.
What, the big barcode
They had
scanner?
to, I happen to know this because I know quite a lot about barcodes, which is why I'm getting a lot of this right. They had to have, the components all needed to be water-cooled, and those kind of
Yeah, that's all,
components...
he said that.
Yeah.
But no, you're right, it is all true.
Stray dog hairs would affect readings, sunlight shining through supermarket windows prevented the barcodes from being read, and Bobby Charlton's comb-over was often scanned, being mistaken for a jumbo packet of prawn cocktail crisps. The world's smallest barcode was developed by Dr. Chuck Lemkin at the Susan Hampshire Ant Research Centre in Budleigh Salterton.
No!
Marcus.
I couldn't resist it. It was the mention of the name Budleigh Salterton just makes me tingle all over. Yes, go on, I believe that to be true, because I'm an idiot.
The smallest barcode being made at the Ant Research Centre? No. No, that's not true.
I've been to Budleigh Salterton. There really is very little else to do, and it is exactly the sort of thing they might do to pass
Is there an Ant Research Centre in Budleigh Salterton?
Called after Susan Hampshire.
Yeah. You might have noticed it when you were there, if it existed.
Oh, yes.
Shall I carry on?
Yes.
Okay. Tiny tags were attached to ants to monitor their mating habits. Each line of the code was 1/1000 of a centimetre wide. Unfortunately, one ant ended up on the conveyor belt in the local branch of Sainsbury's and played havoc with Mrs. Perkins shopping on a memorable Friday in Whitsun.
Yeah, no, I see it now. There's no Sainsbury's in Budleigh Salterton.
By the way, miniature barcodes have apparently been used to monitor the mating habits of bees, I'm told.
Ooh, tricky place to put a barcode. It's already
Absolutely.
stripy.
Yeah. Anyway.
Scientists ever reach something like, oh, I wonder how bees mate? Is there ever a meeting where people go, oh, who cares? Who really cares how bees have sex? Let's just ignore that.
I think it's a very quick way to lose your academic funding. If they, when they're investigating nuclear fusion, someone comes in, do we really want to find this out, or should we just go to the pub?
Well, that's...
I've heard that if you get drunk, people's breasts get bigger.
The who cares approach is roughly what the American Republican administration have taken to climate change science, isn't it? Who cares? It's nice and warm.
Nice and warm and floody. Who doesn't like a flood? It's like a swimming pool that surprises you.
Language experts have pointed out the amazing similarity of a 5th century Irish alphabet known as Om, which consists of a series of horizontal lines and gaps to modern-day barcodes.
Frankie?
That sounds to me like the sort of thing that was going on in 5th century Ireland, although I know very little of that era.
We know very little about what's going on in 5th century Ireland as well, but that was one of the few things that was. So, yes, you're right.
And the alphabet was named after the Celtic god of literature, Omar.
Frankly, that's part of the same bit of truth. So, but that is
called
true.
Ogmios.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a new...
Yeah.
Do you get points for actually correcting something that's supposedly true?
Who's called Ogmios? You're going with the later French reading of his name.
You said that you knew very little about this, and then suddenly you
Turned out to be
the leading expert.
Quite the 5th century Ireland boffin. I suspect at meetings of research about 5th century Ireland, you're not the one saying who cares. You're the one rather spottishly getting involved in a way that undermines your cool act.
Well, he was the god of eloquence in speech.
Really?
Yeah. So
why are you obsessed with him?
We've all got to stay on the right side of him in our profession, or we could.
Or we just sudden sentence speak can't.
Evidence has been found that St. Columba worked at an early equivalent of a checkout till made from stone. Barcodes were immortalised in art by New York pop artist Bernard Solko. His 1998 exhibition included 22-metre-high paintings based on the black and white stripes.
Yes, Marcus.
Yeah, I'll say that that's true.
Yes, that is true.
Get in.
Thank you, Neil. So, Neil, you managed to smuggle one truth past the rest of the panel, which was that in the early days, sunlight shining through windows at the front of supermarkets prevented barcodes from being read. And that means you've scored 1 point. Yes, what an amazing invention the barcode is. With just a simple wave or two across a checkout reader, within a microsecond, the price of a product will be retrieved by an information technology system known as, how much is this, Tracy? And in the early days, it was discovered that barcodes didn't work under bright sunlight coming through supermarket windows. This was eventually overcome by a system called Manchester. OK, it's now the turn of Marcus Brigstock. I see from Marcus's CV that he appeared on a TV show called What's the Problem with Anne Robinson. That was a telethon, presumably. Your subject, Marcus, is the Queen, otherwise known as Queen Elizabeth II, the UK's reigning monarch and head of state of 15 of the countries of the Commonwealth. Off you go, Marcus.
Her Majesty the Queen cannot pronounce the word specifically, and it has never appeared in Her Majesty's Christmas message. On one occasion at Balmoral, the Queen attempted to boil herself an egg by placing it in the microwave. The resultant explosion caused a 6-hour security lockdown and the death of a corgi named Maud, who heard the bang, panicked, weed, and had a heart attack. The Queen greatly enjoys...
Frankie.
I just want that to be true.
Yes, I do, but it isn't, unfortunately.
I'd like to see her try and boil an egg. She'd probably just run at it face first.
Do you really think that would be her first method?
No.
No. Because I don't think she's the sharpest knife in the drawer, but, you know, I see her as basically a human.
Prince Edward once tried to hatch one.
Did he?
Sat on it for several weeks.
Did he really?
No.
No. Thank God I don't have to play this game.
The Queen greatly enjoys listening to military marches and keeps a tape of them to play in her car.
Frankie.
That's definitely got to be true.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The Queen's favourite television show is The Friday Night Project with Justin Lee Collins and Alan Carr. She has said privately she would like to see them both knighted. She tapes the show every weekend and makes Prince Philip watch it with her. He hates it and says Alan gives him the creeps. The Queen once drove a train named after her from its shed to the platform.
Neil.
I think that's true about the shed train journey, royal-wise.
Yes, it is true.
Good lord.
Yeah.
The Queen has never worn the same pair of tights twice.
Frankie.
Not when I've been with her. Although often she leaves the same knickers on for weeks, David.
Your well-publicised affair with the Queen has been all over the papers, but there have been some times you haven't been with her, and apparently on some of those times she has worn the same pair of tights twice.
During the war, the Queen insisted that she be allowed to eat spam like everyone else, and has been known to ask for it on several occasions since the war ended, usually within a week or so of VE Day. Whenever the Queen stays in a hotel, she...
Tony, I'm going for the spam thing as being true.
No, it's not.
Oh.
I thought it sounds really plausible, actually.
doesn't it? Yeah.
You know, that was the best time for the royal family, the war.
Yeah.
I think they secretly started it. But,
What, the Germans? Whenever the Queen stays in a hotel, she takes her own Dundee cake, marmalade and an electric kettle, which she insists on plugging in herself. Sorry, not plugging... not plugging it... No. She's very regal and magnificent, but she doesn't actually emit an electrical current. She plugs it into the...
That's why she never wears the same tights twice. There's always 3 little holes.
I think everyone's alone with their own thoughts about the various things that could mean.
My main ones are about being beheaded for this. Yeah. Her Majesty will not eat Duchy Original Oaten biscuits made on her son's organic farm on the grounds that they are too expensive. The Queen's...
Frankie.
And taste like shit.
You've got to be kidding. Have you not had a Duchy Original Oaten biscuit?
I also have to say that I think they're delicious.
Oh, this is like a Radio 4 nightmare. Are you going to start passing around patty in a minute?
That's an odd nightmare. Passing around patty. When you...
Frankie waking up in a cold sweat. I've had the foie gras dream again.
Is that what
Sorry about the accent, but it's yours. So. The Queen strongly dislikes the colour magenta, milk puddings, sailing, and any talk of her uncle, the Duke of Windsor.
Neil.
I think that is true.
Yes, that's all true, yeah.
Wherever she goes, the Queen takes an outfit in black, in case she suddenly feels like mourning. The last time the Queen wept was 2 years ago. Her tears were collected in a special pot by a footman who later attempted to sell them on eBay for £300.
Thank you, Marcus. So, Marcus, in that round you managed to smuggle 2 truths past the panel, which were that whenever the Queen stays in a hotel, she takes her own Dundee cake marmalade and an electric kettle, which she insists on plugging in herself. And also, the other true thing was that wherever she goes, the Queen takes a black outfit, which, in case she needs to mourn suddenly, presumably.
Wasn't that just while the Queen Mother was still alive?
But
She is still alive. She's just hiding.
in a grave. Well, Marcus, that means you've scored 2 points. The Queen's supporters maintain that she represents the head of a typical British family, and just like many ordinary families, she lives on big estates which ring to the sound of gunfire, and she doesn't have tax on her cars. The Queen is notoriously reluctant to replace household items such as TV sets. Her Majesty doesn't believe in modern contrivances such as remote controls, when channels can be changed perfectly well simply by ringing a bell. Which brings us to the final scores. In 4th place with 1 point, it's Tony. In 3rd place with 2 points, it's Frankie. And in joint 1st place with 4 points each is Neil and Marcus. That's about it for this week. There's just time to thank our 4 guests who were, it's no exaggeration to say, Marcus Brigstock, Tony Hawks, Frankie Boyle and Neil Malarkey. Goodbye.
The Unbelievable Truth was devised by John Naismith and Graham Garden and featured David Mitchell in the chair with panellists Tony Hawks, Frankie Boyle, Neil Malarkey and Marcus Brigstock. The chairman's script was written by Ian Pattinson and the producer was John Naismith. It was a random production for BBC Radio 4. The chair, please welcome David Mitchell.
Hello and welcome to The Unbelievable Truth. It's the programme where all the contestants are actively encouraged to pull each other's legs. Just one of the reasons we've never had Heather Mills on the show. On this week's panel we have information which they should attempt to smuggle past their opponents, cunningly concealed amongst the lies. Points are scored by truths that go unnoticed, while other panellists can win points if they spot a truth, or lose points if they mistake a lie for a truth. We'll begin with Rod Gilbert. Rod, your subject is badgers, described by my encyclopedia as omnivorous burrowing mammals of the weasel family, known for their thick black coat marked with distinctive white stripes. Off you go, Rod. Fingers on buzzers, the rest of you.
A badger set typically has 3 floors. Badger bedrooms often have ensuite bathrooms. Lounge and dining areas tend to be open plan. Winston Churchill was a great fan of the badger. At a party in the cabinet war rooms, Churchill once inflated a dead badger, coated its lips in Vaseline and made what is thought to be the world's first whoopee cushion. Victorian ladies would sew 2 badgers' ears together as a charm. Hung around the neck, a picture of their sweetheart was placed inside.
Tony.
Yep, I'll go for that.
That's not true.
Good. Right, let's crack straight on.
Okay.
If you'd waited for the next sentence, you'd possibly not have buzzed. It says, Victorian ladies would sew 2 badgers' ears together as a charm, hung around the neck, a picture of their sweetheart was placed inside. Hence the phrase, my love, you are always in my heart and often in my furry badger locket. I think that might have stopped the buzzing.
I'd have still gone for it.
Victorian gents used badger legs as rudimentary sparklers on New Year's Eve. The bones of a badger's willy had thousands of applications, including cocktail sticks, toothpicks, mouse drumsticks, travel xylophones, horse earrings, cufflinks, hairpins, tie pins, knitting needles and chess pieces for dogs.
Charlie, you've spotted the list.
The old list rude.
The list, yeah.
I'll go for cufflinks.
No.
To be fair, I thought the speedy went at the list.
Yeah.
It was unreasonable. I couldn't keep up.
Do you happily do it again? Pick up another point?
Let's have the list at medium pace, if you're all right.
Medium pace. The bones of a badger's willy had thousands of applications, including cocktail sticks, toothpicks, mouse drumsticks, travel xylophones, horse
We should
earrings.
have a sort of bed of music behind it.
It's a generation game, isn't it?
Yeah. You've got a set of his and hers travel xylophones.
Horse earrings, cufflinks, hairpins, tie pins.
Tony,
I'm going for the hairpins and tie pins.
you're going for hairpins and tie pins?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to give you the point because tie pins is right.
Oh, well, come on, they're pins, aren't they? I mean, there were 12 in the
More
list.
than what? I could have just said one of the words he said.
I know, it's difficult.
I can't believe this anyway. I mean, have they got a bone in their
Yes,
willy,
listen,
badgers?
most mammals have
anymore.
bones in their penises.
Oh dear, am I missing something?
You're all right. The baculum or penis bone is common in most mammals, although absent in humans.
Oh, thank God.
In Victorian times, the baculum of badgers and dog otters were popular as tie pins. They were commonly given as a wedding gift, symbolising fertility and often given from the father of the bride to the groom. I call that a bit of a disgusting tradition.
Badgers' noses had many practical uses around the house, most commonly as cheap and cheerful doorstops. However, inevitably, noseless badgers, unable to fend for themselves, headed en masse for the cities looking for work. Ironically, many found work as draft excluders and doorstops, so for a time a noseless badger could find itself working alongside its own nose.
Arthur.
I think it's plausible that a badger could be a kind of doorstoppy type thing, you know. I guess from the way Rod is sniggering, maybe my supposition is wrong.
I think there's absolutely...
I, for one, have used a badger as a doorstop.
I think there's absolutely no doubt that a dead badger could be used as a doorstop. But I don't think it's true that they were commonly used as doorstops. So
Badger meat had a resurgence in popularity during World War I, a second resurgence during World War II, and a third resurgence under the Labour leadership of Neil Kinnock.
Tony.
I think during World War I, they did eat badger meat.
Wrong war.
I'd say two. Yeah, because my dad ate badgers.
Seen that?
That's why the door wouldn't stay shut.
It was eaten a lot during World War II, badger meat, and in Russia it's still widespread.
Badgers take great pride in their lovemaking, and a badger who could only manage an hour of lovemaking per day would be considered bad in bed. 90 minutes of lovemaking would be considered a more reasonable target.
Charlie.
If badgers have a bone in their penis, then a badger probably can make love for ages. So a badger that can only make love for an hour probably would be considered bad in bed. If badgers make love in beds.
Yes, you're absolutely right, Charlie. Badger mating lasts on average 90 minutes, although it can last as little as a couple of minutes, so it doesn't always work. Female badgers are least receptive to male sexual advances during the full moon. Interesting fact.
Who found that out?
Well, I think we can guess a man dressed as a badger.
Badgers are the most commonly used animal in warfare. The Romans used them as early muskets, pointing the badgers at their enemies and asking the badgers to shout bang. More recently in America, it was rumoured that the Russians used badgers as spies during the Cold War, that the French resistance released badgers on rural French roads to hamper German tank commanders, and that British troops released man-eating badgers to kill terrorists in Iraq.
Charlie.
I believe that the French resistance might have tried to thwart the Nazis with some brave badgers.
No, they didn't. In fact, they bloody should have done, actually. I've always had my doubts about the French resistance, and this proves it. They weren't really trying. And that's the end of Rod's lecture. Thank you. And Rod, you've managed to smuggle 2 truths past the rest of the panel, which are that badgers have basically ensuite bathrooms in their sets. They're fastidiously clean, with their sets containing well-lined sleeping areas with separate latrines or dung pits. And the second truth is that in 2007, British troops were said to release man-eating badgers to kill terrorists in Iraq. This wasn't true. They refuted the suggestions, but the word had spread among locals that this was happening, and they turned out to be vicious honey badgers. And that means you've scored 2 points. Beneath the M5 motorway at Exeter, there's a special underpass for badgers, as so many of them live in Exmouth, but like to shop in Newton Abbot. OK, we turn now to Arthur Smith. Your subject, Arthur, is ears, the organs of hearing and balance found in vertebrates, usually located symmetrically on opposite sides of the head. Off you go, Arthur.
Military medals were originally the ears of enemies killed in battle, pinned to the chests of the winning side.
Charlie.
That's got a ring of truth about it.
You can imagine, can't you, a victorious general with a chest full of ears? I'm sure it will now be adopted.
It's not true.
No.
Tutting ear is an insult in Italy, meaning you are a homosexual and should wear an earring.
Tony.
I think it is an insult in Italy.
Shame on the Italians.
That is right. That is an insult in Italy. It's a suggestion that someone might be gay in a society where that's not deemed fine. The
It's all
gesture
right
of
for
touch...
Berlusconi to have bunga parties. Mind you know, I went to a lap dancing joint in Rome. Turned out it was a meeting of the Italian cabinet. A Korean prisoner whose mouth and nose were taped over was able to survive by breathing through his ears. A Malaysian man succeeded in flying nearly 50 metres using his ears as wings.
Rod. Have you recently seen Dumbo?
Just for the heck of it,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that second one.
What, the Malaysian man flying 50 metres using his ears as wings?
Yes.
Plausible though that sounds. That apparently isn't true.
Maybe
not.
10 metres.
Yeah.
But if somebody jumps off a high building and then they... on the way down, it could be argued that they did use
Yes.
their ears as wings.
Can you flap your ears, Rod?
No, but
I mean,
it's
you
hard
don't-
to prove when you get down that somebody didn't use their ears as
Yeah,
wings.
but if they...
It's easy to prove they didn't fly.
I didn't say they were good wings.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to flap them for them to be wings. Because I've
Absolutely.
been on most planes I've been on, the wings don't flap.
20 years ago, a 55-year-old factory worker from China noticed air leaking from his ears and soon discovered he could inflate balloons and blow out candles.
Rod.
Well, I'm going to go with this one because I should have gone for the one earlier about the bloke surviving with his mouth and nose taped up. I bet that's true.
On this one, you're absolutely right. Well done. And, in fact, he's not the only one. There's a 36-year-old called Zhang Zijiang who can do everything from smoking a cigarette to inflating bicycle tyres using nothing but the air expelled from his ears.
The fig bat of Madagascar is not a true bat as it glides from tree to tree on specially modified wing-like ears.
Rod.
I hate to buzz all the time and lengthen this show. But I have seen flying bats and things that fly from tree to tree with those big wingy things on David Attenborough.
Yeah, but they're wings, you see.
Yeah, they're not ears.
Are they?
Leave the whole flying with your ears. Let it go. Let it drop.
Every ant has over 100 ears. Crocodiles use their ears to smell with. Woodpeckers have an ear at the end of their tongue.
Charlie.
Crocodiles smell with their ears.
No, they don't. No. I suspect that the thing that crocodiles smell with, however ear-like it might look, would be termed a nose.
Could be a combined thing, like a spork.
They got bloody great big nostrils that stick out of the water. That's
They
what
don't use those for smelling with.
They do.
What do they use them for then?
Thinking? I don't know.
No, you're quite right. They're just massive thinking holes. But no, crocodiles don't smell with their ears, and I don't think they have a sort of unified spork-like ear nose.
Did I say that gorillas have a residual ear in their armpits? Beavers have closable ears, and so does my friend Gary.
Tony.
I think ants have got 100 ears.
They don't.
I think gorillas have got one under the armpit.
They don't. This is points carnage.
Beavers have closable ears, and so does my friend Gary.
Charlie.
Beavers have closable ears.
They do!
Yay!
Can I,
Rob.
well, so does his friend Charlie.
Gary, well, actually,
Yes,
what he
you
does
can.
tell me, Gary, he's a friend of mine, and he says he can choose not to hear, as it were.
Yeah.
Which I think he
Is
believes
that
in.
why you're such great friends? I would say no human can close their ears without using their hands. But if you're saying, Arthur, that your friend Gary can,
Well,
I'll
no,
give Rod a
he
point.
can choose not to hear. That doesn't mean he's closing his ears.
No,
No.
it just means he's ignoring it.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is that he can close his ears. He didn't say without using his hands.
Well, hang on, I'll ring him up.
I
Won't hear it.
I don't think if you use your hands, it counts as a closable ear in the same way.
Why not?
Because I'm arbitrary and
Drunk with power.
drunk with power and in general a bastard.
Would you describe... Do you have a wardrobe in your bedroom?
If you're going to now say that because I have to use my hand to close my wardrobe's not closable unless I say that the human has a closable ear, then just don't go there.
Narnia would never have existed with you involved, would it? Oh, don't go in the wardrobe. All right, that's the end of that book. Great.
Of the 7.5 million people that use television subtitles in Britain, 6 million have no hearing impairment.
Charlie,
I believe that. They're just not really paying attention.
you're absolutely right to believe that, Research was carried out by the TV regulator Ofcom. It's thought that many hearing people use subtitles to help them keep up with complicated plot twists and unfamiliar accents in American TV dramas.
The Indonesian writer Ibnu Satenkeng surprised midwives when he was born with 2 complete sets of ears, one on each head.
Thank you, Arthur. And Arthur, at the end of that round, you've smuggled only one truth past the rest of the
Yeah,
panel.
but I must have scored about 50 points, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the truth that survived the barrage of guessing was that the woodpecker's tongue acts as an extension to their ear. There's a concentration of nerve endings at the end of their tongue which allows them to listen for moving grubs by picking out very small vibrations. I don't know whether they cry if the grubs are particularly moving. That means, Arthur, you've scored 1 point. Next up is Tony Hawks. For his first book, Tony went round the whole of Ireland taking a fridge with him. Yep, just what you need when you bump into an Irishman. A conversation piece. Your subject, Tony, is divorce, the legal dissolution of a marriage contract between two people marked by judgment of court or by socially accepted custom. Off you go, Tony.
Divorced people smell.
Charles.
They smell of failure.
I think
There's
all people smell.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone
True,
smells.
everyone does smell. I think you can have a point for that. Yeah.
And they aren't allowed to enter the X Factor.
Rod.
Such a curious little nugget that they're not allowed to enter the X Factor. I reckon that's true.
No, that's not true.
They should give them their own category, though. That would be amazingly bitter.
Well, there could be a whole spin-off, couldn't they? The X Factor brackets divorced.
All by myself.
The rule would have to be that that's the only song they're allowed to sing.
I think that was far too much passion and intensity for an X Factor release.
When divorces happen, men become very happy when they are ordered by the courts to give half of what they own to their former wives. One man in New Jersey was so keen to do this fairly that he took his chainsaw and cut his house in half.
Arthur.
Anything with New Jersey in it that Tony says is true.
Well, that thing is true,
There you
so
are.
well done. Eugene Schneider objected when a divorce court ordered him to divide his property equally with his wife, and so took his chainsaw and cut his $80,000 wooden bungalow in half.
Rolf Harris's parents divorced and remarried once.
Charlie.
That's entirely possible.
Yes?
No.
But it isn't true. That's where we are on that one.
Lulu's parents divorced and remarried twice.
That would be less likely, but also possible.
Oh, come on.
Cher's parents divorced and remarried 3 times.
Also possible, but, that's a lot of...
He's just
Arthur.
toying with us, isn't he? But I've fallen. I've gone for the share one.
And you're right to go.
Yes! I'm on a roll.
Divorce is illegal in Indonesia, so men find ways to beat the system. In June 2003, one 28-year-old Indonesian man drugged his wife, put her in a parcel, and attempted to send her to his brother in Australia.
Charlie.
That's too insane to not be true.
I'm afraid that comes from Tony's imagination. I don't know whether he'd probably defend it as a joke, but it may be a plan.
Another 28-year-old Indonesian man married no fewer than 121 women in a period of 7 years.
That is true.
You're right, it is. In 1981, an Indonesian man was jailed for 7 years for marrying 121 women. In mitigation, he pointed out that he had divorced 93 of them.
Mr. and Mrs. Ballard of California opted to divorce while skydiving.
Sorry. That's just what they all do, isn't it, Americans?
No, you're absolutely right. It
Yes.
was, Mr. and Mrs. Ballard of California divorced while skydiving. Mr. Ballard's lawyer followed them out of the plane and served divorce papers on Mrs. Ballard at 10,000 feet.
Saudi Arabian women can obtain a separation if their husband doesn't give them coffee. I am divorced. Oh, sorry.
Right. That just wouldn't surprise me.
You're assuming someone will want to marry him in the first place.
That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to Tony.
In 1992, I married Judith Chalmers, but she successfully sued for divorce on the grounds that I was too handsome.
Thank you, Tony. At the end of that round, you've managed to smuggle one truth past the rest of the panel, Tony, which is that not providing coffee could be grounds for divorce in Saudi Arabia. It was grounds for divorce in the statute book of the 17th century Ottoman Empire, and basically it's incredibly difficult, obviously, for a woman to get a divorce in Saudi Arabia, but she could cite denial of coffee as a fault. So it is one of the reasons you might be able to get a divorce in Saudi Arabia, except you won't be able to if you're a woman, because it's such a horrible place. But that means you've scored 1 point. Now it's the turn of Charlie Brooker. Your subject, Charlie, is ice cream, a frozen food usually containing cream, sugar and flavouring, which is eaten as a dessert or in a cone. Off you go, Charlie.
Ice cream originated with the Roman Emperor Nero, who ordered runners to pass buckets of snow from the mountains down to his palace in Rome, where he would flavour them with wine, honey, fruit, bath salts and slivers of grated slave. However, ice cream as we know it today was invented by founding father Benjamin Franklin, who created the first batch in his wife's enamel chamber pot. This marked the beginning of an association between politics and ice cream innovation. The French statesman Talleyrand is credited with coming up with the ice cream cone by bending a wafer-thin waffle around a cooling wine glass.
Rod.
I'm just so bored I had to stop him for a minute.
On humanitarian grounds.
No, that fact, what I meant is, I'll rephrase it, what I mean is that fact about the waffle cone is just so boring that it's got to be true.
No, that's...
I know it's a long time
God.
after, but I'm going for the Emperor Nero.
Oh, that's too long after.
Oh, please.
You've been thinking too long. No.
All right,
was
But
it
it
true?
is, yes, it is true. The
Ah.
Emperor Nero ordered runners to pass buckets of snow from the mountains and then flavoured them.
And Margaret Thatcher helped invent the Mr. Whippy, although this wasn't entirely out of character since she thought she was creating a chemical weapon.
Margaret Thatcher did help invent the Mr. Whippy.
You're absolutely right, Rod. She did help invent the Mr. Whippy. She discovered a method of doubling the amount of air in ice cream, which allowed manufacturers to use less of the actual ingredients, thereby reducing costs. She's literally taking ice cream from children.
David, please. I know I was a bit late, but I'm knocking on a bit. Can I not have that Nero?
You're still cross about the Nero thing?
Well, you know, I am, frankly.
No, it was too late. No, I can't.
Look, the audience, should I be allowed the Nero point?
I don't care. Charlie.
Ice cream sundaes were invented when American shopkeepers began serving ice cream with syrup on Sundays in a bid to comply with a law banning them from serving it with soda on the Lord's Day. It's not the only weird ice cream law. In Kansas, it's illegal for eateries to serve ice cream on cherry pie. In Harker County, Massachusetts, it's illegal to serve 2 scoops of ice cream in a lewd or suggestive configuration.
Tony.
I'm going for the Massachusetts one.
Well, you're wrong.
No!
I'm going for the other one then.
What one was that? What do you think's true?
Well, you don't expect me to remember it, do you?
There were several. There have been several assertions.
I'll go for the
one that was
Sundays
true.
being served on Sundays.
Rod, you're right. The Sundays were called Sundays because it was a new recipe for serving ice cream that didn't involve soda that wasn't allowed on the Lord's Day for some crazy American reason in
But
the late 19th
Sunday is
century.
spelled S-U-N-D-A-E, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And
They've
therefore-
fooled me all these years.
I know.
And finally, there are now over 4.5 million flavours of ice cream registered with the International Ice Cream and Sorbets Board. It's possible to buy ice cream in flavours including prawn cocktail, raw horseflesh, water, cement, Michael Parkinson and heroin.
Tony.
But there is, unfortunately, a prawn cocktail ice cream.
No, there isn't.
No.
No. Rod.
There is a heroin ice cream.
No, there isn't.
Well, there is a Michael Parkinson ice cream.
No, there isn't, but I will take heroin and Michael Parkinson as only one guess. As they have the same flavour. Arthur, I
I
admire
still
that.
feel bad about this Nero.
Oh, right.
I feel like I nag me way to a point. The audience is on my side.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no point.
One of that
Taffy.
list. One of that list with Michael Parkinson heroin. Cement. There's got to be a cement flavour then.
I will
Horse flesh flavour.
Yes, it is horse
Right.
flesh.
Thank you.
But yeah.
Can I have my point now?
No. Far too late. That's it. Charlie's lecture had long since finished. And Arthur can't have the point for Nero either. And no one, in fact, I'm going to take all the points away.
What about Christmas? Is that cancelled?
If only it were in my power. Charlie, you managed to smuggle 3 truths past the rest of the panel. Controversially, the Roman Emperor Nero truth about the snow coming down from the mountains, which I think, in fairness, Arthur Smith has walked off the show, but fortunately just at the point where that no longer matters. The second truth you smuggled is that in Kansas it is illegal for eateries to serve ice cream on cherry pie. And the third truth is that Japanese basashi ice cream comes in both raw horseflesh and squid ink flavours. And in fact, the raw horseflesh one actually has bits of real raw horseflesh in, which I suppose in a way you think makes it worse, but actually, if you're ordering a raw horseflesh ice cream, must, I suppose, make it better. And that means you've scored 3 points. Which brings us to the final scores. In 4th place, with -6 points, we have Rod Gilbert. In 3rd place, with -4 points, it's Charlie Brooker. In 2nd place, with -3 points, it's Tony Hawks. And in first place, the player that has stormed off the show in a fit of pique, it's Arthur Smith with 1 point. That's about it for this week. All that remains is for me to thank our guests. They were all truly unbelievable, and that's the unbelievable truth. Goodbye.
The Unbelievable Truth was devised by John Naismith and Graham Garden and featured David Mitchell in the chair with panellists Tony Hawks, Arthur Smith, Rod Gilbert and Charlie Brooker. The chairman's script was written by Colin Swash and John Finnemore, and the producer was John Naismith. It was a random production for BBC Radio 4. Please welcome David Mitchell.
Hello and welcome to The Unbelievable Truth, a panel show about incredible truths and barely credible lies. I'm David Mitchell. Today I'm joined by the 4 horsemen of this comedy apocalypse. Please welcome Sarah Pascoe, Holly Walsh, Frankie Boyle and Miles Jupp. The rules are as follows. Each panellist will present a short lecture that should be entirely false, save for 5 hidden truths which their opponent should try to identify. Points are scored by truths that go unnoticed, while other panellists can win points if they spot a truth, or lose points if they mistake a lie for a truth. First up is Holly Walsh. Holly, your subject is bread, a food made from flour, water and usually yeast, mixed together and baked. Off you go.
Around in Victorian times.
Well, it certainly was around in Victorian times, but not since them, because it predated them. It was, in fact, Roman. I wasn't actually that keen on Roman civilization till I heard that, but toast, that's something special. Comes from the Latin tostum.
The first written account was by the great Mrs. Beeton, who wrote a rather delicious recipe for none other than toast sandwich, the filling of which, and I'll have to get the ingredients exactly right here for anyone writing this down, is a piece of toast. It wasn't long before bread broke into popular culture. You may not know this, but bread actually got its name from the popular Scouse sitcom, The Liverbirds. But the naming of different types of bread is very serious. For example, matzo is Yiddish for roof tile. Panettone means re-gifted Christmas present.
Oh, Miles.
Matzo tile.
No, it comes from the Hebrew for juiceless.
One of the many ways you would describe a roof tile.
I suppose so, yeah.
Probably the top 5 for most people.
To differentiate it from those cheaper, juicy roof tiles that cause so much moisture indoors.
Yeah, the imported ones. Yeah.
Pumpernickel literally translates to devil's fart. Pita bread approximates to panty liner, and bagel means glory hole. The first bread to really break through to superstar status was, of course, the baguette. Then in 1982, Italians got jealous about the baguette and invented the ciabatta. This was so successful that in 1986 they launched their follow-up masterpiece, the focaccia, specifically to provide middle-class British dinner parties with much-needed innuendo. In fact, bread is so popular in Europe that most countries have a bread-based holiday. Iceland celebrates Bun Day, where children wake their parents by beating them with bun wands.
Sarah.
I want that to be true.
The bun wands.
Yeah, you have to hit your parents with buns.
It is absolutely true. So,
woohoo!
Yeah.
What a world.
Yeah. Boludagur, or Bun Day, is an Icelandic holiday that takes place 2 days before Lent. Children wake up early and try to catch their parents still in bed. If they do, they can beat them with colourfully decorated bun wands while yelling repeatedly, bolla, 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 which translates as bun, bun, bun. Their parents are obliged to give them 1 cream puff for every blow received.
So it's a touching reaction to the death and resurrection of Christ, I think.
Appropriate.
We all deal with it in our own way, Frankie.
One of life's great unanswered questions is, what was the best thing before sliced bread? It was, of course, the bread knife. In fact, the guy who invented the bread slicing machine couldn't sell one for 16 years.
Miles.
I think that when the bread slicer was invented, it was unpopular.
That he couldn't sell it for 16 years?
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes. Otto Frederick Rohrweder of Iowa invented the first bread slicing machine in 1912, but a fire in his factory destroyed his designs and the original prototype. It then took him another 16 years to create another machine, file a patent, and sell the first pre-sliced and wrapped loaf of bread on the 7th of July, 1928.
In the meantime, the same guy invented the sandwich when he took a bread knife and carefully cut a bread roll down the middle as a warning to other bread.
Thank you, Holly. And at the end of that round, Holly, you've managed to smuggle 3 truths past the rest of the panel, which are that Mrs. Beeton wrote a recipe for none other than a toast sandwich, the filling of which is a piece of toast. It's a piece of toast between 2 slices of buttered bread with salt and pepper to taste.
The trouble is with when you publish a book is that they sometimes give you a word count and you do end up just shoving some stuff in there just so it looks longer. And that is definitely a Mrs. Beeton filler.
Well, I think it sounds like a lovely idea for a sandwich, and I'd be interested to have it toasted. The second truth is that pumpernickel literally translates as devil's fart. Pumpernickel bread was named by Westphalian Germans from pumpens, meaning to break wind, and nickel, or old Nick the devil.
Wow.
The third truth is that the ciabatta was invented in 1982 in a deliberate attempt to produce an Italian alternative to the baguette. And that means, Holly, you've scored 3 points. Suffering from typhoid makes your skin smell of freshly baked bread, so at least it's slightly easier to sell your house before you snuff it. In 14th century London, the Bakers' Guild split up and formed two rival guilds, one for brown bread and one for white, which led to a rather pointless doubling up of roles. OK, we turn now to Miles Jupp. Miles, your subject is ABBA, a Swedish pop supergroup comprising Agneta Fältskog, Björn Ulvaeus, Benny Andersson and Annifrid Lingstad. Off you go, Miles.
Everybody absolutely adores ABBA, and I myself am no exception. To this day, I can't stop myself suddenly and often inappropriately bursting out with an early, and I always think genuine number from the ABBA quartet, such as Beedle Weedle Eedle, or Sarajevo, or Little Sad Moose, and of course, no doctor can help with that.
Frankie.
One of those has to be a genuine early ABBA song. Little Sad Moose?
No. Holly.
Beedle Weedle Eedle?
No.
I'm going to go for the other one.
Sarajevo.
Are you going for Sarajevo?
Absolutely.
That is not right.
These songs were all sung in English, despite the group's first language being Belarusian. The boys learnt English at an evening class. The girls learnt it phonetically, and it was due to their constant mispronunciation that they were forced to change the title, lyrics, and indeed entire meaning of their song Pooper Scooper.
Holly.
I think the girls didn't know how to speak English when they started singing in English.
Correct. Yes, when the group was formed, Bjorn and Benny were fluent English speakers, but neither Annifrid nor Agnetha spoke English, and so they performed their early English songs phonetically.
The night that ABBA won the Eurovision Song Contest, and I need hardly remind you when that was, and the UK didn't award them a single point, my father went out into the street and tore up his passport, which he then burnt in a metal bin alongside some financial documents that he said that no one would miss.
Holly.
Beg your pardon.
You don't need to say that, it's just the nature of the buzzer you're using.
I'm so sorry.
Can I ask, did the UK give them nil points?
They did. That is correct. In 1974, when ABBA won Eurovision with their hit Waterloo, the UK gave them 0 points. Despite this, Waterloo became a number one hit in the UK singles chart 2 weeks later.
And to think it was named after one of our stations.
Yeah, station. or put another way, one of Belgium's fields.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
The distinctive costumes that ABBA always wore on stage during performances were tax-deductible, as it was so easily proven that there was no way in hell they could wear them at any other point in their lives. And they insisted that their royalties from different territories had to be paid in different ways. In Scotland and Russia, they were paid in oil commodity rights. In France, in bottled Evian, had to be glass. In America, they received shares in Colt firearms.
Sarah.
I'm going to say that they did insist on being paid in glass Evian bottles from France.
That's not true.
When they worked for the BBC, they did it for practically nothing, but they felt that it was worth it because they said it gave them a certain kudos amongst a certain kind of person. For example, the Jupp family were most impressed.
Thank you, Miles. So, Miles, at the end of that round, you've managed to smuggle 3 truths past the rest of the panel. And the first one is that an early and genuine number of the ABBA quartet was called No Doctor Can Help With That, which you rather fiendishly smuggled in as if you were just saying, oh, no doctor can help with that, conversationally, which was sort of clever but nasty.
Apologies for my unpleasantness.
No, well,
Just bad sportsmanship, that's all.
I don't know. I don't know what I think about it yet. I'm
I think
processing
you need to take a firm stand on these sort of things for the good of the game.
That was my worry.
Well, it depends if you're playing it for fun or like Miles, because you desperately want to win, I guess.
Okay, well, it is a fact, and it's called No Doctor Can Help With That, or Det kan ingen doktor hjälpa. And it was a 1970 single in Sweden on which all 4 members of ABBA performed.
What was it about? I mean, what was the ailment?
Love, I'm assuming.
Exactly, yeah.
That really sounded like something that was said by the man at the end of the bar that hasn't spoken all evening. Suddenly overhears the conversation. Excuse me for interrupting, ladies. It sounds like you're talking about love.
The second truth is that the distinctive costumes that ABBA always wore on stage were tax deductible because it was so easily proven that there was no way they could have been worn in real life.
I don't want to sound like I'm kind of dropping myself in it, but aren't all costumes tax deductible?
If you could wear it in your normal life, you can't claim it as tax. So normal clothes, you can't say are stage costumes.
I see. This is...
Your accountant should have gone through this with you, Holly, because it's very clear. Someone's been claiming trousers. I've had the tax people come round twice and go through my receipts. Yeah, actually come round.
Come round?
Yeah, lots of people in my family have tax evaded in the past, and then my earnings really changed, and they went through every receipt. And if it's a jumper, even if you never wore it again, if you've bought it, and technically you could wear it in everyday life, you can't do it tax deductible. But then, like with travel, you can get a helicopter to your gig and charge that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because that is how you got there.
But if you picked up some shopping on the way, you're in for the whole helicopter ride.
This is actually more fun than the show.
I'd say this is sub-podcast.
My next tour show, I'm just doing the usual kind of stuff, but I'm phrasing it as a tribute to Shirley Bassey.
Well, it sounds like you've finally found your voice.
Well, anyway, in Swedish law, if you could prove stage costumes could in no way be worn on the street, then they were tax deductible.
You could, even you, David, the sort of outlandish things you wear on television, you could probably get away with in normal life, couldn't you?
Some people say so.
In my head, I think of you wearing cords a lot. Is that true?
I do wear cords quite a lot, and I also have quite a lot of cord jackets.
Mustard cords?
No, you've caricatured me there.
No, that's too far, Holly.
Yeah. And the third truth that Miles smuggled was that in Russia, ABBA were paid in oil commodity rights, as there was an embargo in place on the ruble. And it proved to be a very lucrative decision.
And lubricative.
Well, I doubt... Do you think they used Russian oil to lube themselves up?
Absolutely.
Well, you make Vaseline out of petroleum, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but
Don't you, David?
It's unusual.
In your mustard trousers. How do you think you get in and out of them?
Oh, yeah. Famously, corduroy needs a huge amount of pre-lubing in order for me to squeeze myself into them.
Well, they are ribbed. It would go together.
Anyway, that means, Miles, you've scored 3 points. ABBA chose their name by holding a newspaper competition inviting the public to name the band. Among the suggestions they considered were Barber, Ali Baba, Fab, and, of course, Bandy McBandface. Next up is Sarah Pascoe. Sarah, your subject is men, adult male human beings. Fingers on buzzers, the rest of you. Off you go, Sarah.
It's a universal truth that men have it harder than women. For instance, why do women have a special day every year where they are celebrated just for nothing? What do women even do? Whereas every man works hard all year round and gets no thanks whatsoever. It makes me so furious. On March the 8th, I tweeted, "When is International Men's Day? Only to have people replying with the complete lie that it's on November the 19th. It isn't. If there was a special day for men, I think I'd know. I looked up November 19th in the diary, and it is in fact World Toilet Day. Why should toilets get a parade when men get nothing?"
Miles.
Although you couched it by saying it is a lie, that is a truth, isn't it? It's the 19th of November, International Men's Day.
It is true that International Men's Day is the 19th of November, but as you say, Sarah said the opposite. So it was a lie.
She said it is that, but it is a lie. Oh, I see, right.
So you haven't spotted a truth.
No, right.
Yes.
I've spotted a truth described as a lie.
Yes, she said it is not then, and it is then. So she lied.
So the game, Miles, is you chime in and go, "That's true," but you've chimed in and gone, "That's a lie."
Yeah.
Do you see?
Right, no. Honestly, no.
Well, as you don't understand, I don't think you need to lose a point, but you don't get a point.
I think you should, because of how competitive he was earlier. So it's like, if you're going to play that,
if not understanding why you didn't get something means that you don't have to worry about it, that's just stupid.
I think in the middle of a thing about men, for a man to not have a point taken off when he's clearly in the wrong, he's sending out the wrong message.
I'm sorry, Miles. You've lost the various rooms.
So
Miles loses 1,000 points there for being such a monster. And Sarah, carry on.
World Toilet Day aims to highlight the 2.5 billion people that don't have access to toilets, while My International Men's Day would highlight those men who'll pay you to go to the toilet on them.
Frankie.
World Toilet Day, is that real?
It is. And it is like International Men's Day, the 19th of November.
We think that's on purpose. Another inequality is that men are much, much sexier than women and have people oogling them all the time. Most men can't walk down the road without women whistling and shouting about where they'd like to put their fannies. Sorry, that's so immature. Historically, men have been made to cover up so that women can control their lusty urges. The balaclava was initially invented to help men keep their virginity until after their GCSEs. Pencil skirts, open crotch tights and high heels were originally worn by men.
Holly.
High heels were originally worn by men.
Correct. Men were the first to wear high heels in Western Europe around the early 1600s.
Do you want to know where I learnt that fact?
Go on.
It was written in a loo in Lanzarote Airport. Oh, God. I swear to God, it's actually printed on the wall in Lanzarote Airport.
You can't believe everything you read on the loo wall at Lanzarote
Yeah, well, in this
Airport.
case,
Yeah, some of those phone numbers must have expired by now.
No, I've kept the same one.
By the 1630s, a craze for masculinized women's fashion caused women to adopt the high heel, cut their hair short, add epaulettes to their outfits and start smoking pipes. And that was how the high heel moved from a men's fashion item to a women's fashion item.
How come the pipe didn't?
Because they're disgusting.
But the other things didn't, the epaulettes have come and gone. Pipe smoking didn't really stick. Hair length varies.
I've got very short hair at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Are you wearing high heels?
David, please stop this.
It's the wrong
It's only
sort
been
of...
a couple of months.
You're like Michael Caine in Get Carter.
I had a penny. Yeah.
It's a really weird world where you're sitting in your spare room and David Mitchell's asking what you're wearing. It's like a Radio 4 sex line.
Well, I'm not in corduroy today. Although I do have a corduroy jacket over the back of my chair. If I can say that without getting too sexy.
Yeah, I think we might need a toilet break soon.
Sarah.
Until the 1930s, it was illegal for men to go topless on beaches, and even in the modern day, it remains forbidden for them to get their knobs out in Debenhams. All this withstanding... Sorry, I'm such a baby. All this withstanding, the main victim of male sex... The main victim of male sexiness is fidelity. While all married men do their best to remain true to their boring old wives, pretty new women often arrive and force them to touch their boobs. Marital infidelity is, of course, not actually men's fault, by the way. It's just the lower the IQ, the easier they are to seduce.
Frankie.
That's got to be true.
It is true. And, in fact, it carries on.
Extramarital sex is like Mario Kart. You're more likely to catch someone if they're a bit slow.
And yes, that's absolutely right. There was a 2010 study which found that men with higher IQs were less likely to be unfaithful to their partners, and that men with lower IQs were more likely to have extramarital affairs. The study concluded that more intelligent men are more likely to value monogamy and sexual exclusivity than less intelligent men. Miles.
Now, I know this is really late, and I've now become incredibly confused about the format. But I think...
So do you want to phone a friend?
I may be making the same mistake again, but I'm pretty sure it must be illegal to get your knob out in Debenhams. It must be.
Well, obviously there was a lot of discussion about this, Miles, and actually it's not in the rules of Debenhams.
Oh, really?
We had to look it up.
Is that what happened? Did you ring them up, David, and said, is it all right to get your knob out in Debenhams? And they said, we can't tell you.
The chief executive said, look, David, it's a grey area.
Yes, but can I get it out in Debenhams?
Sarah.
You can tell that these poor cheating guys don't have their heart in it. In fact, they are more likely to have a cardiac arrest when having sex with someone who isn't their partner.
Frankie.
I think that's got to be true. More likely to have a cardiac arrest when someone who's not their partner.
That is absolutely true. Men who cheat on their wives are more likely to die of cardiac arrest during sex. According to an autopsy report released by the American Heart Association in 2012, of all the sudden deaths which occurred during sexual intercourse, 88% were men, and 75% of these cases happened during extramarital sexual activity.
Heartbreaking. And it's all women's fault. That's why heart attack studies are only on men. Women don't deserve saving. And if you've got a problem with that, bitches, take it up with Sandy Toksvig on the 8th of March.
And that's the end of Sarah's lecture. And at the end of that round, Sarah, you've managed to smuggle one truth past the rest of the panel, which is...
This better not be about Debenhams.
Which is that until the 1930s, it was illegal for men to go topless on beaches. This is in America. It was illegal for men to be shirtless on US beaches. It was only in 1936 when New York changed the law to allow men to show their nipples in public. That means, Sarah, you've scored 1 point. In Saudi Arabia, it's illegal for men to work in lingerie shops. Although overall, you'd still have to say that women have the short straw. It's now the turn of Frankie Boyle. Frankie has recently discovered a cure for his long-standing fear of flying: the collapse of the entire aviation industry. Your subject, Frankie, is experiments, a scientific procedure undertaken to make a discovery, test a hypothesis, or demonstrate a known fact. Off you go, Frankie.
We're currently living through an important experiment to see if 9 months spent baking cupcakes and being screamed at to be quiet through Mummy's Zoom call will create a generation of thoughtful leaders in 2030. A recent lockdown experiment showed that you can completely remove the urge to visit your family simply by putting up Christmas decorations. Some recent things that have been discovered through experimentation are that over 70% of Britons will hand over their computer passwords in exchange for chocolate, that male monkeys will pay to look at pictures of female monkeys' bottoms.
Sarah.
That's true. That's experiments that they've done with apes.
You're quite right, yes. Experiments conducted by researchers found that male rhesus macaque monkeys would take a cut in their fruit juice allowances to look at photographs of the bottoms of high-status or socially dominant female monkeys. One of the researchers was keen to point out that this is not simply monkey pornography, and that the photographs allowed the monkeys to assess the reproductive prospects of fellow members of their species. Now, that is an excuse I have never heard tried.
William Morton, the father of anaesthesia, first experimented on himself but kept falling asleep before he could describe the results.
I think the duck was first. Miles?
I think he did experiment on himself.
He did, and indeed he also kept falling asleep before he could describe the results. Frankie?
But it's animal experimentation that makes up 1% of British GDP. Personally, I always confuse Schrodinger's cat and Pavlov's dog, and always begin to salivate on opening a box containing a dead pet. It was in 1939 that Carl von Karl decoded the honeybee's waggle dance before ending his career in disgrace by inventing tiny dollar bills he could slip into the bee's pants to encourage them.
Holly?
Sorry, I laughed and buzzed at the same time. Carl van Karl did the waggly dance for the bees.
No, none of that is true.
Meanwhile, famous 19th century banker John Lubbock discovered that after a lively night out, ants who'd had too much to drink were picked up by their mates and carried home, while drunken stranger ants were tossed in a ditch.
Sarah?
I'm going to go for the one that ants, if they have been inebriated, the other ants come back and look after them.
That is absolutely true. And this was discovered by 19th century banker and naturalist John Lubbock. Lubbock also noted that whilst a small number of stranger ants were also carried into the nest, they would shortly be carried back out and tossed into the ditch with the others.
Because they kind of thought they knew them.
Yeah.
And then took them in and went, oh no, you're not Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen you in my life.
Yeah.
You look just like him then.
In the ditch for him.
Meanwhile, scientists in America who built a model female turkey in an attempt to measure sexual desire in male turkeys were surprised to discover they only had to attach a head and neck to a stick, and the males were happy to mate with it.
Holly?
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
The turkeys...
All they need is his head on a stick.
Correct. That is
Thank
true.
you.
In the 1960s, researchers at the University of Pennsylvania ran an experiment to observe what stimuli prompted sexual arousal in male turkeys. I mean, why wouldn't you? They created a model of a female turkey and gradually removed body parts, waiting to see when the male turkeys would lose interest. They found that the male turkeys kept mating with the model, even when all that was left was a head on a stick.
You know why? It's because they could go back and tell their mates they mated with the model.
So they concluded that as long as she had a head, male turkeys would try and mate with the female.
So when they took the head off, then the turkey was like, no, I've got standards, mate.
I think so.
That's just a stick.
Yes, I think when it was just a stick, they go, yeah. And they hadn't turned out... Actually, it turns out what I fancy is sticks.
As a scientist, it's got to be hard to come back from that to, like, your marriage every evening.
Now, if you spent all day watching male turkeys, Roger a stick. it's...
I think the important thing here is not to be too judgy.
Yeah. Thank you, Frankie. And at the end of that round, Frankie, you've managed to smuggle one truth past the panel, which is that over 70% of Britons will hand over their computer passwords in exchange for chocolate. Another survey revealed that 29% of office workers knew their colleagues' login details, and that someone in the office always has the boss's password. Which brings us to the final scores. In fourth place, with -1 point, we have Sarah Pascoe. In joint second place with 1 point each, it's Holly Walsh and Frankie Boyle. And in first place with an unassailable 2 points, it's this week's winner, Miles Jupp. That's about it for this week. Hello and welcome to The Unbelievable Truth, a panel show about incredible truths and barely credible lies. I'm David Mitchell. As always, tonight's panellists will be showing more forked tongues than a coachload of snakes at a raspberry blowing competition. Please welcome Arthur Smith, Tony Hawks, Henning Vane and Graham Garden. The rules are as follows. Each panellist will present a short lecture that should be entirely false, save for 5 pieces of true information which they should attempt to smuggle past their opponents, cunningly concealed amongst the lies. Points are scored by truths that go unnoticed, while other panellists can win points if they spot a truth or lose points if they mistake a lie for a truth. We'll begin with Tony Hawks. Tony, your subject is nudity, described by my dictionary as the state of being without clothes. Off you go, Tony. Fingers on buzzer, the rest of you.
I myself have a compulsion for nudity. I'm a nudomaniac. Everywhere I'm not nude now, I lie.
Yes, no, Tony isn't nude now.
Yeah.
He's,
That,
just crotchless.
That
was necessary to the examination. I think, the Victorians were...
What do you know about Victorian medicine?
Loads and loads. I know, for example, that on my list of the true things that Tony's going to say in his lecture, that isn't one of them.
The key word there is immoral, and they didn't consider it immoral.
They were probably quite embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
They probably didn't do it at the drop of a hat.
No.
Let alone drop of lots of Victorian underwear that I don't know the names of. but I think...
Bloomers.
Please don't swear. Carry on, Tony.
The traditional chicken pluckers of France were not permitted by the church to look directly at a plucked hen, as it was deemed to be naked, and nudity was considered a sinful state. This led to the development of an interesting punishment. A French woman who had committed adultery had to chase a chicken through the town naked. Ancient Babylonian artists freely painted scenes of nudity and sex, but would never show the female face. Whereas ancient Chinese artists would never depict a naked female foot because they deemed it too rude or sexy to feature. In Britain, boys under 10 are actually forbidden by law to look at naked mannequins. Those that do look at them either go mad or become disc jockeys. In 1998, I stripped naked and sang the Moldovan national anthem on Balham High Street as a forfeit, having lost a bet I made with Arthur Smith that I had to beat the entire Moldovan national football team at tennis, 1 by 1.
Graham.
I think that's true.
No, it's not true. As is well documented, Tony won that bet.
It was I, naked outside. And if anyone's seen the video, I have to say it was a cold night, all right?
And something got to be true.
Some things are true, yes.
I just don't know what is true.
Yeah.
Well, one of the truths could be that you're failing to spot the truths. You know what I'm saying?
Graham.
It is.
No.
They're all coming up anyway.
Yeah.
He's just toying with us now. It's embarrassing.
Here's one.
Okay.
In March 2004, a party boat filled with 60 men and women capsized on a lake in Texas after all the passengers rushed to one side as the boat passed a nude beach.
Henning.
Yeah, he just said that was true.
Yes. But I think he was attempting a double bluff, but fortunately your literal German mind has avoided that pitfall, and you're right, that is absolutely true. It happened on Lake Travis when a double-decker barge was passing Texas's only nudist beach. 2 people were hospitalised.
Tony, can you give me a hint, please?
I will. Okay.
Not true.
Last year, an Australian travel agency was formed which arranged outings for naturists, calling itself Exploring the Bush.
Arthur.
I think, cheap though that joke is, it's appropriate that an Australian would have made it. And it's entirely plausible that an Australian would start up a nude travel agency. So I say it's true.
Well, unfortunately it isn't. But, you know. Well, I bet if you do Google Exploring the Bush, something interesting will come up.
And it almost certainly involve Australians and nudity.
Thank you, Tony. And, Tony, at the end of that round, you've managed to smuggle 4 truths past the rest of the panel. That's a very high-scoring round. And the first one is that a nudomaniac is the word for someone with a compulsion for nudity. There was an old French punishment for adultery, which was to make the adulterous woman chase a chicken through town naked. That ancient Chinese artists freely painted scenes of nudity and sex, but they would never depict a naked female foot. The 4th truth is that in Britain, boys under 10 are forbidden by law to look at naked mannequins. This is a law dating apparently from the reign of George V. He was very worried when mannequins were first put in shop windows that when they were between outfits, the under 10-year-old boys would be in some way corrupted or traumatised. Or maybe think that's what women were really like, and, you know, in their later life be surprised when they moved. Anyway, that means, Tony, that you've scored 4 points. Ooh. OK, we turn now to Henning Vane. Henning is one of the funniest men in Germany. He's a bit like being described as one of the oldest men in Scotland, or the best tennis player in England. Your subject, Henning, is shoes. Outer coverings for the feet, usually of leather, with a thick sole and heel. Fingers on buzzers, everyone else. Off you go, Henning.
Shoes were invented by Jesus. Jesus invented the Jesus sandal, the Jesus boot, and the Jesus Nike Air Max. The design for which was stolen by Judas. The second person to leave a footprint on the shoe world was Grimaldi, the French clown, who invented the unfeasibly large shoe.
Arthur.
Well, I think it's quite plausible Grimaldi did invent the clown shoe.
He didn't, unfortunately, but it is quite plausible.
Well, that's why I stuck it in there.
Yeah, you softened us up with the Jesus business.
I notice you're not saying whether they're true or false before you, in a rather ungenerous way.
I'll return the favour from earlier on, don't worry. Get your finger on the buzzer now. Yeah? Okay. By the end of...
It's true. Henning, I knew you wouldn't go for the double bluff.
Well, you're absolutely right, he wasn't, and you did buzz 3 words into something that was to be true. So I'm very happy. It makes the whole thing a lot quicker and more efficient in a way that is characteristic of the Germans, I'd like to say, and I mean that as a compliment. So yes, you get a point, Arthur.
Yeah.
And Henning, if you'd now like to say the thing that's true.
By the end of the 14th century, the French nobility had 2-foot-long shoe tips, which they had to snip off during battle so they could run away more effectively.
And yes, that's absolutely true. It was called the poulain, was a 14th century shoe whose tip was as long as 2 feet long for princes and noblemen, only 1 foot long if you were rich people of a lower degree, you know, nouvs, and only half a foot long for commoners. Such shoes proved a hazard among the French Crusaders, and at the Battle of Nicopolis in 1396, they had to cut off the ends of their shoes in order to be able to run away. Heading.
After becoming longer and longer, shoes became higher and higher. Ladies of pleasure in Venice in the 15th century wore shoes with heels that could be as high as 75 centimetres.
I remember reading that in a guidebook to Venice.
Well, you're right. Well done. Yeah, they were as high as 75 centimetres, and then they were subsequently made illegal because of all the accidents that they caused.
They became illegal because many a prostitute toppled over and fell into a canal. Needed to be rescued with poles. And this is why men who hire prostitutes today are called punters. During the French Industrial Revolution, which Germany is still paying for, shoes became objects of protest. Factory workers would throw their sabots, or wooden shoes, into the machinery to wreck it. And this is where we get the word saboteur.
Graham.
Just rather boringly, yes, I think that is true.
Yes, that is true, yes. Where we get saboteur and sabotage from shoe throwing.
Yeah. Well, for this reason, shoemakers in France and the Low Countries were regarded as lazy, reactionary good-for-nothings, whereas in the far more progressive Germany, the shoemakers, or Schuhmachers, were so successful that they had time and money to win the Munich Grand Prix every year between 1799 and 1842. German scientist Georg Richmann believed that rubber shoes would protect him from lightning. But when he stood...
Tony.
Well, I haven't buzzed in yet, so I thought I would, with the undoubted fact that the rubber shoes invented by Mr. Reichmann, he believed would protect him from lightning.
You're absolutely right, he did.
Ah,
But he wasn't blessed with success, was he?
No, he was not. Because he stood outside watching a thunderstorm in 1753. His shoes exploded. And he died, although his feet did remain warm and dry.
I mean, you've got to feel very... He's on to a real winner. Rubber shoes, they won't conduct electricity, you'll be better off in a thunderstorm, and yet the poor guy, they explode.
Yeah. Small consolation.
How?
What do you mean small? There's no consolation at all. Massive disaster.
No, but 257 years later, we're still talking about him.
I suppose that's true.
Just an attention seeker, that bloke.
No, I've never had a pair of shoes explode on me.
Yeah, they have obviously developed over the past 250.
They designed them very, very carefully not to explode now.
Health and safety gone mad.
You can't have the bottom half of a leg blown off by an exploding shoe without the nanny state getting involved.
The shoemaking process produced terrible hallucinogenic fumes, which would, after many years, make the shoemaker insane.
Can you just say that word beginning with H again, Henning? I enjoyed your pronunciation.
Oh, there's a tricky one. Hallucinogenic.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, getting a round of applause for being able to speak. You're doing very, very well at patronising me.
Patronising, that means talking down to people.
Of course, what you don't realise is that he can't actually speak German.
The leather shoemaker would buy dog feces from street urchins for the tanning process. The worshipful company of shoemakers still has a squatting dog on its coat of arms.
I think I remember even as a young lad, there used to be people in Bermondsey went around picking up buckets of manure off the road and using them in tanneries.
Really?
Just trying to give my claim a bit of a...
Because this isn't true, Arthur. But it's an extremely vivid picture of a deprived childhood. And, I don't think it is poo that's used in the tanning process, but I think they do use wee.
That's all we got time for and start the week.
Henning.
Yeah, may that all as it be. As well as
Be
being...
that all as it may.
Say that again.
It's be that all as it may, not may that all as it be.
As well as being footwear, shoes have nutritional benefits. That's a statement, isn't it? Napoleon ate his shoes during his last days on St. Helena, as chewing shoe leather can keep a starving person alive for an extra day or so. Napoleon asked for more shoes, but was told not until he had finished his head. Today, women's obsession with shoes is the reason why they're unable to secure meaningful jobs in commerce or industry.
It's all right, ladies and gentlemen, no one's buzzing. Thank you, Henning. So, Henning, at the end of that round, you've managed to smuggle one truth past the rest of the panel, which is that chewing shoe leather can keep a starving person alive for an extra day or so. Basically, natural hide is as nutritious as meat, but once it's tanned, there's no nutritional value, but just the act of chewing sort of fools you into thinking you've been in some way nourished and keeps you alive a bit longer. And that means, Henning, you've scored 1 point. Now it's the turn of Graham Garden. Graham's son John is keyboard player with the Scissor Sisters, and if the Scissor Sisters enjoy just half the chart success that the Goodies achieved, they'll be extremely disappointed. Your subject, Graham, is Walt Disney, the American filmmaker and entrepreneur who created a new kind of popular culture in feature-length animated cartoons and live-action family films. Off you go, Graham.
Walt Disney's first effort at animation was about the fleas and other amusing parasites found in the fur of wild rabbits, called bunny bugs. But it was not a success. When Disney won his first Oscar for Steamboat Willie, he was presented with a specially made statuette with Mickey Mouse ears. For Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, he was awarded 1 full-size Oscar and 7 little tiny ones. But when he won the Academy Award for Mary Poppins, he refused to accept the statuette because it wasn't carrying an umbrella.
I think one of those 3 facts is definitely true. I'm going to go for the ears one.
That's not true. No, not the ears one. What is true is the full-size Oscar and the 7 little tiny ones.
Sounds so close.
Among the many names originally considered for the dwarfs in Snow White were Sporty, Scary, Baby and Posh. On a visit to Disneyland, Walt Disney ate a hot dog and then counted how many steps it took to finish it and throw away the wrapper. It took him roughly 20 steps, which is the spacing used in every Disney park to this day, from hot dog stall to litter bin.
Arthur.
That sounds like it should be true.
It is true, yes, well done. And presumably another 10 steps further on, there's a place to be sick.
Oh, didn't he ban people from having moustaches who work at Disneyland or something?
We might find out later.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
In World War II, Walt Disney worked secretly for the OSS. They had recruited him as a code breaker after they'd noticed that in the movie Fantasia, the sorcerer is named Yen Sid, a clever anagram of Disney's own surname. And what really impressed the spy masters was the fact that he hadn't gone for the more obvious Sydney. Walt Disney only wore his trademark false moustache for photographs or public appearances. And the reason that Disney employees were not allowed to wear moustaches and beards...
Yes, come on! Disney employees were not allowed to wear moustaches.
Yes, Arthur, that's absolutely true. Yes. In accordance with the Disney Employee Manual, moustaches and beards were not allowed due to their communist connotations.
Disney's application for permission to build and run elaborate rides at his theme parks was nearly denied when the authorities discovered that one of Walt Disney's favourite hobbies was planning elaborate train crashes on his huge model railway. He loved hunting and was a passionate deer hunter, and he once claimed that he put the death of Bambi's mother into the film just to give his mates a good laugh.
Thank you, Graham. And at the end of that round, Graham, you've managed to smuggle 3 truths past the rest of the panel, which are that, as I said before, in 1939, Walt Disney got a full-size Oscar and 7 little mini-Oscars for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The second truth is that in the movie Fantasia, Disney named the sorcerer Yen Sid, the letters of Disney reversed. And the third truth is that Walt Disney planned elaborate train crashes on the half-a-mile of miniature railway track in his garden, which served as an inspiration for the larger steam trains at Disneyland. And that means, Graham, you scored 3 points. It's now the turn of Arthur Smith. After losing a bet to Tony Hawks, Arthur had to stand on Balham High Road and sing the Moldovan national anthem whilst naked. Luckily, as it was Balham High Road, no one noticed. Your subject, Arthur, is cake, a sweet baked food typically containing a combination of flour, sugar, eggs, butter, and other ingredients such as raising agents and flavourings. Fingers on buzzer, the rest of you. Off you go, Arthur.
The Brit artist Gavin Turk once baked a huge cake in the form of Chairman Mao, only to find the next morning it had been eaten by 3 drunks who broke into his studio and were passed out on the floor.
Henning.
I believe the bit that he baked a cake in the shape of Chairman Mao.
Well, it's not true, so...
But he could have done.
Yes.
The cake on the sleeve of the Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed album was baked by TV chef Delia Smith.
Tony.
That's true.
It is true.
There we are.
Delia was working as a home economist in 1969 when she was commissioned to bake a cake for a photo shoot. She said she'd been told to make it very over the top and as gaudy as I could.
Following an altercation about artichokes in Rome, the Italian artist Caravaggio famously clubbed a waiter to death with a huge stale fruitcake.
Henning.
That he did.
No, he didn't.
But he could have.
I once myself ate a cake that I now know to have been baked with an hallucinogenic drug. That's hallucinogenic.
Henning has buzzed.
Yeah, you should know. So that will be true.
Actually, now I think about it, that bit of it is true.
Well, I mean, that is a bit of an own goal there, Arthur.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm going to have to give the point there to Henning. Yeah.
I won't bother with what apparently happened to me on this hallucinogenic cake.
You've got an amusing story that is untrue.
I have, but I'm not going to say it now.
All right.
I'm sorry I ruined it for everyone.
Sometimes I think your apologies are insincere.
Well, I've been here now for 8 years.
The English word for a posh cake is gâteau, and the French word for a posh cake is le cake.
Surely it must be my turn to get one right now.
That's not how we do it, but on this occasion, yes, you are right. Well done. Yeah.
In the 19th century, a cake containing arsenic in the icing sugar killed children who ate it at a birthday party. The French bride was arrested at her wedding reception in 1995 for stabbing her new husband with the knife they just used to cut the wedding cake.
Tony.
I like this. It's
a lovely, heartwarming little story, isn't it?
It's definitely true.
It is true.
Oh.
Yes, yeah.
Using 180 eggs, 126 jars of jam and 220 pounds of sugar, a team of British bakers baked a cake in the shape of a full-size Skoda car.
Tony.
I know this is wrong by the way you said that, but I've decided to go for the Skoda car.
With the massive pause. Someone go for it, someone go for it. Well, I'll tell you, it is not true.
No.
But I'll tell you, what is not true is that using 180 eggs, 126 jars of jam and 220 pounds of sugar, a team of British bakers made a Skoda car. What is true is that using 180 eggs, 125 jars of jam and 220 pounds of sugar, this was done. Now, I don't like the way Arthur plays the game any more than you do.
I think I've got the crowd behind me. I think we could have a riot.
Yeah, but you haven't haven't got the law behind you.
Oh my
All
God,
states.
This is like the bodyline tour all over again.
David, this could be your moment. Are you a populist host, or are you just going to go with the rules in a shallow way? You've got to,
I'm sure there are different ways of putting that rhetorically. Are you going to the decency of responding to what a crowd of people shouts at you to do? Or are you going to feebly stick to the rules? I've got to stick with the rules.
Stick with the rules.
In Norwich Crown Court in March 1983, a man was convicted of the crime of having sex with a neighbour's cake.
It was probably February.
Now, look, I'm going to announce this next one, right, it isn't true. So that'll really allow me to go for the last word in it. The American-English word cookie comes from the Dutch kurja, which means cake. The Dutch word for biscuit is
Thank you, Arthur. OK, Arthur, at the end of that round, you've managed to smuggle 2 truths past the rest of the panel. One of them, in I think perhaps one of the least sporting rounds, not only with the jars of jam debacle, one of the true things was the thing you specifically said wasn't true just before it. And that is that the American-English word cookie comes from the Dutch kurtje, a diminutive of the proper Dutch word for cake.
I'm just taking the game a step forward into the professional era.
You won't be getting any professional bookings off the back.
The other truth you smuggled past is that in the 19th century, arsenic was often used to create green colouring, and a green cake decoration sold in Greenock, Scotland, with the inscription, "For the bairnies," contained 7 times the fatal adult dose of arsenic, with fatal consequences. The experience was to pervade the Scottish attitude to green confectionery well into the 20th century, with the Professor of Forensic Medicine at Glasgow University observing in 1955, fewer green sweets are sold in Scotland than in any other country. And, of course, the Scottish aversion to all green foods carries on today. And that means, Arthur, you've scored 2 points. When the Queen travels abroad, she makes sure that she takes supplies of Harrods sausages, Malvern water, mint sauce, and a fruitcake. He's called Prince Philip. Which brings us to the final scores. In joint 3rd place, with -1 point each, we have Arthur Smith and Henning Vane. In 2nd place, with 1 point, it's Graham Garden. And in 1st place, with an unassailable 4 points, is this week's winner, Tony Hawks. And that's about it for this week. All that remains is for me to thank our guests. They were all truly unbelievable, and that's the unbelievable truth. Goodbye.
The Unbelievable Truth was devised by John Naismith and Graham Garden, and featured David Mitchell in the chair, with panellists Tony Hawks, Henning Vane, Arthur Smith and Graham Garden. The chairman's script was written by Dan Gaster, and the producer was John Naismith. It was a random production for BBC Radio 4. And Lies. In the chair, please welcome David Mitchell.
Hello and welcome to The Unbelievable Truth, the panel show about incredible truths and barely credible lies. I'm David Mitchell. And this week's panel consists of 4 seasoned campaigners, by which I'm afraid I mean they were recently pepper sprayed. Please welcome Ed Byrne, Holly Walsh, Richard Osman and Henning Vane. The rules are as follows. Each panellist will present a short lecture that should be entirely false, save for 5 pieces of true information which they should attempt to smuggle past their opponents, cunningly concealed amongst the lies. Points are scored by truths that go unnoticed, while other panellists can win points if they spot a truth, or lose points if they mistake a lie for a truth. First up is Ed Byrne. Ed was one of the presenters on BBC Two's Volcano Live, with one reporter noting, "If anyone can make molten rocks fun, he can." So now we know. No one can make molten rocks fun. Ed, your subject is Ancient Egypt, the site of an ancient civilization centred on the lower reaches of the Nile River, which was ruled by a pharaoh and noted for the Great Pyramids of Giza. Off you go, Ed. Fingers on buzzers, the rest of you.
I am a qualified Egyptologist. I was drawn to the subject not by my love of all things ancient or Egyptian, but by my deep-seated desire to debunk the notion that the ancient Egyptians were all that, just because they had remote-control cars and air conditioning and had perfected the science of cartography all before 1500 BC. Big deal.
Holly.
Did they have air conditioning?
They did have air conditioning. They used a form of air conditioning known as evaporative cooling.
And then grind said bark into a powder and then drink it mixed with your own urine.
Richard.
Yes, I would.
I suppose it was a question, so it can't be true or false. I mean, it just is. It is a question. Let's assume no points lost, no points gained.
Oh, thank you.
Just time lost. We're all a little closer to the grave. A much smaller grave than the pharaohs enjoyed.
If you were feeling a bit peaky, bit unwell, bit below par, what would you do? Take some vitamins, an aspirin maybe? Not if you were an ancient Egyptian. You'd take a mouse, mash it up, mix it with some fecal matter and wolf it down, and then probably wonder why you still felt lousy.
Henning.
They both those things. What Ed said first and secondly is both the answer to those. Yes, you would do that if you were an ancient Egyptian.
You're guessing on both those
Yes.
things. A double truth guess.
Exactly.
Well, you come out evens. One is true and one isn't. The first one is not true. They did not rub their anus with tree bark and then grind said bark into a powder and drink it.
They
mix
really
with their
should.
own urine
They
for
really
hemorrhoids.
Works for you, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, they didn't. But if they were unwell, a bit below par, they would take a mouse, mash it up, mix it with some fecal matter and wolf it down.
And supposing I was to give you a mixture of honey, sour milk and crocodile dung, what would you do? Would you shrug your shoulders in disgust? Would you think, that's the last time we let him join our secret Santa circle? Well, if you were an ancient Egyptian woman, you'd use it as a contraceptive. Don't ask me how. I presume you just rub it on yourself so nobody wants to go near you.
Henning.
If I was an old Egyptian woman, that's exactly what I would be doing.
It was actually an ancient Egyptian woman in the sense a woman from ancient Egypt rather than a very old woman from Egypt. Because I suspect very old women from Egypt probably don't have the same contraceptive needs. But that is true. Anyway, whether it's... They used those ingredients as a contraceptive. They were made into a pessary to block or kill sperm.
If your cat died, would you bury it in the back garden? Would you take it to a pet crematorium? Would you put it in the bottom of the wheelie bin and hope the bin men didn't notice? What would you do? Well, if I said I'd shave my eyebrows off, then you just might be an ancient Egyptian. And I have no time for you.
Richard.
Absolutely true.
The eyebrow shaving,
Yeah.
cat reaction. You're right. Absolutely right.
So what did they do? They shaved their eyebrows when the cat died?
Yeah, so they didn't look surprised.
The Greek historian Herodotus details how a household would go into deep mourning if their cat died, and that shaving eyebrows was used to signify the loss. Cats were even mummified after death, and mice, rats, and saucers of milk placed in their tombs.
The only people I hate more than the ancient Egyptians are 19th century aristocrats who insist on behaving like ancient Egyptians. Like the 10th Duke of Hamilton, who spent 11 grand on an ancient Egyptian coffin and then had to have his legs cut off when he was buried in it because it was too small.
Richard.
It's a tempter, isn't it? It's a good lie if it's a lie.
It's true.
Oh.
It's true. Yes, the sarcophagus was 8 inches too small for the Duke and is thought to have originally been made for an ancient Egyptian lady or court jester. There are various accounts of how the Duke's legs were crammed in following his death in 1852, with some saying the legs were cut off and others reporting that they were rearranged with a sledgehammer.
Do you know, I'd cut my head off. I'd take the 8 inches off the top, not the bottom.
Would you?
Yeah, and I'd tuck it under my arm. Or put it between my knees, you know, just to... But with my chin facing upwards, it looks like I was giving birth to myself. And I'd shave my eyebrows off just for more surprise.
Thank you, Ed. And at the end of that round, Ed, I'm afraid you've managed to smuggle only no truths past the rest of the panel, which means that you've scored no points. OK, we turn now to Holly Walsh. Holly was co-host of the Channel 4 late-night topical entertainment show TNT. Though, of course, we only have her word for that. Holly, your subject is ice, a brittle, crystalline, transparent solid that forms when water is frozen. Off you go, Holly.
Ice cream doesn't contain either ice or cream. It's harvested from the tears of snowmen. Clint Eastwood's first act as mayor of Carmel, California, was to legalise ice cream street sellers, ice cream brothels, and eating an ice cream whilst using a submachine gun.
Ed.
The first one, Clint Eastwood legalised ice cream sellers.
You're absolutely right.
Ice cream isn't actually cold, it only feels like that because all ice is haunted. Ice cubes were only invented as a way for pubs to give you less Diet Coke, and if you stare at ice long enough, you can pretend you've got laser eyes. Though frozen foods sound like a good idea, they can be dangerous. In 1 year alone, 600 Britons are knocked unconscious by frozen lasagnas, 2,000 injure themselves trying to pry apart frozen foods, and an amazing 25,000 people have lost a lip from sipping directly from a vodka luge.
Ed.
I think it might be the middle one. People have injured themselves trying to
That could be the
pry.
title of this show, couldn't it?
I myself have injured myself trying to prise apart frozen food.
Well, you're absolutely right. Yes. According to figures released by the Health and Safety Executive, in the year 2000, actually, there were 2,040 injuries recorded as a result of frozen food. Most of these were caused by people trying to pry the food apart with a knife.
Surprisingly, ice hockey is actually only the third most dangerous sport after drunk darts and beach volleyball. Only 2% of professional ice hockey players have lost a finger, 62% have lost a tooth, and 98% have lost the ability to recall why they took the sport up in the first place.
Henning.
I can easily picture 62% of them having lost a tooth.
You're absolutely right. According to the University of British Columbia, 62% of Canadian players have lost one or more teeth. Can Daneko, who retired in 2003 after 20 seasons playing ice hockey, lost a total of 12 front teeth during his sporting career.
Eskimos have 50 words for snow, 40 words for ice, and only 1 word for racist stereotyping.
Henning.
I don't know if that's an urban myth or not, but there is 50 words for snow in the Inuit language.
It is an urban myth.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they have about the same number as we do in English, e.g. slush, drift, sleet, snow.
Oh no, it was the colour white, wasn't it, that they had 50 words for?
No, that's Dulux you're thinking of.
Holly.
Captain Clarence Birdseye, the inventor of slush puppies, named them after the area known as Slush-Pupo in eastern Siberia, a place so cold that people's breath actually freezes and falls to the ground as ice crystals. A lady's frozen sigh is regarded as a local delicacy there, and a fart as a quick snack.
Richard.
I'm going to say that your breath does fall to the ground in eastern Siberia as,
I can picture
crystals.
that.
Yeah, you're right, it does. It does indeed. When the air temperature drops below minus 55 degrees Celsius, as it does in eastern Siberia, it causes the moisture in people's exhaled breath to turn into ice crystals in the air. So rapid is the freezing of these moisture droplets that it actually makes an audible whooshing sound, which the native Yakut people refer to as the whisper of the stars. Oh. It's lovely. It's putting a very positive spin on living somewhere awful.
That is quite nippy, isn't it? Minus 55.
Yeah. When I think about how we moan about the drizzle, and they live in a place where they breathe out and it freezes and falls to the ground, and they call it the whisper of the stars.
That's the sort of place someone from Newcastle would wear a jacket.
If you attend the annual Frozen Dead Guy celebrations each March in Colorado, you can enjoy such events as coffin racing or a frozen salmon toss. According to the World Health Organization, Reykjavik has the highest standard of postnatal maternity care in the world. That's why Mum's gone to Iceland. Though an iceberg got the blame, the Titanic actually sank due to a lack of being able to float.
Ed.
I'm afraid that's true.
Well, I mean...
And an iceberg did get the blame.
I mean, it wasn't one of the truths that Holly was given, but there is no doubt that the Titanic sank due to a lack of being able to float. I think I'm going to give you a point.
Yes!
Yeah.
In your face.
And it is in my
It's
face.
in your face.
It's in my face, and it's in Holly's face, and I think it's in Henning and Richard's faces as well.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's like the whisper of the stars.
Yeah. The whisper of the stars in your face. What do you do when a star whispers in your face?
20 years later, you take them to court.
Yeah. Thank you, Holly. At the end of that round, Holly, you've managed to smuggle one truth past the rest of the panel, which is that if you attend the annual Frozen Dead Guy celebrations in March in Colorado, you can enjoy such events as coffin racing or a frozen salmon toss. That means, Holly, that you've scored 1 point. Scientists cannot agree on why ice is slippery. One scientist concluded, it seems clear that the molecular structure is... According to a Czech proverb, when a donkey is well off, he goes dancing on ice. Though in the UK, it's more often a sign that the donkey is not quite the celebrity he used to be. Next up is Richard Osman. In 2011, Richard won Heat magazine's Weird Crush Award. A compliment and an insult at the same time. Rather like being voted world's sexiest racist. Richard, your subject is rubbish, waste material, or things that are no longer wanted or needed. Off you go, Richard.
The science of rubbish is variously known as garbology, obsolology, or media studies. The study needed a name.
Ed.
Obsolology is another word for the study of rubbish.
It is not.
Garbology.
Well played again, sir.
Are you going to buzz?
Garbology.
Yes. Garbology is correct.
Yes.
Yeah. According to the OED, garbology is defined as the scientific study of the refuse of modern society.
The study needed a name because researchers were not entirely comfortable with being called rubbish scientists. In Britain, it is not actually an offence to throw rubbish over your neighbour's garden wall.
Holly.
I bet that's true. I bet you're allowed to dump stuff as long as it's not on a public road or pavement or something.
It is absolutely true. It's not an offence. It's encouraged. British law states that it's not a criminal offence to throw litter onto private property because this action counts only as trespass, which is a civil matter.
Now, if you ever find yourself in Reykjavik, Iceland, and fancy visiting a museum of rubbish, then you're in luck, because you are just one simple 13-hour round flight away from the Trash Museum in Hartford, Connecticut. Highlights of the Connecticut Trash Museum include a solid gold pooper scooper, Abraham Lincoln's pedal bin, a large pile of compost, a dinosaur skeleton made entirely of discarded KFC chicken bones, and a collection of apple cores once thrown away by John Bon Jovi, Henry Kissinger, and Pele.
Holly.
Oh, one of those got to be true. No, I'm going to go with the compost.
It sounds like the worst quiz show ever, doesn't it? Yes, no, you're absolutely right. That's true.
Wow.
That is a highlight of the Connecticut Trash Museum. Other highlights include a 1-ton Trashosaurus constructed out of recycled materials and an old-fashioned town dump.
Sadly, the Trash Museum had to close for a week in 2013 after foxes got in overnight.
Henning.
Again, I believe that.
It's not true. So you lose a point.
But they would
Just to
probably
clarify.
appreciate a museum more than most people.
Yeah, but to hit them, it's an ideal home exhibition, isn't it?
It would be very nerve-wracking to be a cleaner at the Museum of Rubbish.
Yeah. Richard.
My local tip in Chiswick has everything you might expect in a West London refuse centre, namely a Twitter account and its own small branch of Waitrose. But it is just a tiny bit smaller than the Fresh Kills rubbish dump on Staten Island, New York, which at one point was bigger by volume than the entire Great Wall of China, making it the second largest man-made structure ever seen on Earth, just behind the Croydon IKEA.
Holly.
Something in that pile of rubbish facts is true. I'm going to go for
Yeah, you're the cleaner at the trash museum. What's going in the bag? What's staying on display?
Second biggest man-made structure in the world.
That's not true.
Has got more volume than the Great Wall of China. That can't be true.
Are you going to buzz?
No, just thinking about it, I lost my bottle there.
I'm going to
Holly.
buzz. I think that's true.
That is true. Yes, the Fresh Hills rubbish dump on Staten Island, New York, was bigger by volume than the entire Great Wall of China, which means it's not the second largest man-made structure ever seen on Earth, but the largest. It was created in 1948, and at its height was fed by 20 barges, each carrying 650 tons of waste each day. The waste was concentrated in 4 mounds, which at their peaks were 25 metres taller than the nearby Statue of Liberty. The dump was closed in 2001, and there are now plans to turn it into a park.
Rubbish can also provide us with perspective on some of the greatest works ever created in human history. For example, while the word rubbish occurs just twice in the King James Bible, it appears more than 40 times in reviews of the first series of Pointless.
Holly.
I think there's something in that. What was it again? Rubbish 50 times in
Occurs twice in the King James Bible and more than 40 times in reviews of the first series of
Okay,
Pointless.
twice in the King James Bible.
You're absolutely right.
Ironically, I am cleaning up on this rubbish round.
Yeah. And at the end of that round, Richard, I'm afraid you've smuggled no truths past the rest of the panel. Which means you've scored 0 points. 40% of the rubbish in Uganda's capital, Kampala, is made up of discarded banana skins, making it the silent comedy capital of the world. Next up is Henning Wehn. Henning is German but has lived in the UK for many years, so he knows that if he sees a crime taking place, he should call 999. And if shouting no doesn't work, contact the police. Henning, your subject is British food. Nourishing substances consumed by people native to the United Kingdom. Off you go, Henning.
As Jesus once remarked while downing a nice cup of Bovril, "Yum, yum, yum, British food is the best food in the world." This is the only thing Jesus and Richard Dawkins agree on. British food creates harmony, balance and world peace. That's why Edward de Bono has advised that Marmite be shipped to the Middle East, where he says a lack of zinc has made people violent and possibly contributed to the Arab-Israeli conflict.
Ed.
I'm going to say that it had been postulated that a lack of zinc was causing the tension in the Middle East.
You're absolutely right. Yes, Edward de Bono advised that Marmite should be shipped there. He came up with the advice after being called into the Foreign Office in 1999 to help solve the Arab-Israeli conflict. He believes there is a lack of zinc in Middle Eastern diets due to the consumption of unleavened bread made without zinc-rich yeast. And this zinc deficiency makes men irritable and belligerent.
It's relatively recent that British food became edible. This is in no small part thanks to Germany. When Prince Albert referred laughingly to his dachshund as a sausage dog, Queen Victoria was puzzled, having no idea what a sausage was. Prince Albert soon impressed her with his meaty German treat.
Holly.
I reckon, technically speaking, the sausage was a German import.
No.
The great breakthrough regarding British cuisine was the invention of the crisp. In 1945, Walker's the butcher started selling slices of cooked potato because they'd run out of meat. The crisp proved so popular, he ran out of potatoes too and had to replace them with Hoover dust.
Richard.
I wonder if Walker did make crisps because he ran out of meat.
That is absolutely true.
Where is he based?
You've skillfully avoided saying that he invented crisps. Because
he didn't invent
Where
crisps.
is he from? Walker's?
Leicester.
Is that why Gary Lineker does it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's the war.
Yeah,
that's
there's
the
no
Walker's
money
factory.
involved. Today, the Leicester site is the biggest crisp factory in the world, producing 50-foot crisps. Producing 7 million bags of crisps every day.
British diet was mostly animal dung until the Normans arrived in 1066. At one point, things had got so bad that Welsh peasants would eat placenta for protein. These days, the only real use for placenta is to give it to vegans as a margarita pizza. How they laugh when they realise.
Holly?
I reckon they did eat placentas, animal placentas and whatnot, as a delicacy.
No. Welsh peasants didn't eat placentas for protein.
Well, the Normans, they added several culinary treats to the diet, including fish, which was never before eaten in Britain and was referred to as cold, emotionless sea squirrel. Since those days, fish have not looked back, not least because they have very, very short necks. Apart from eels, which are made entirely of neck. Until the 1800s, jellied eels were known as neckfish in snot. Yum, yum, yum.
Ed?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Jellied eels were called neckfish in snot.
That's not looking good, is it?
They weren't.
I bet somebody called them that.
Yeah, not those who set out to market them anyway. Yeah.
Champagne is, of course, a British invention, and you can only eat a swan if Princess Anne smashed it to death. But no.
Ed?
I'm going to go for champagne actually being a British invention.
You're absolutely right.
But doesn't champagne specifically have to be from the Champagne region? Otherwise it's just a fizzy white wine.
Well, the way of making champagne fizzy, the method champenoise, was invented by a British scientist, Christopher Merritt, in 1531, 40 years before Dom Perignon started to use that technique. So the technique by which the white wine of the Champagne region is rendered into fizzy champagne was invented by a British person.
But no one shows more commitment to the nutritional cause than Captain Beanie, leader of the new Millennium Bean Party. He dresses in baked bean orange, bathes in beans, and devotes his life to baked beans. His party's motto is wind of change. Come to think of it, most British dishes are the result of eccentricity. Toad in the hole, for example, derives from the belief of early fossil hunters that toads could live encased in stone, as long as they were given enough gravy.
Holly?
I reckon there's something in that. The invention of toad in the hole came from toads living in holes.
You're absolutely right, yes. Yes, the name Toad in the Hole dates from the famous Toad in the Hole hysteria of the early 19th century. Everyone remembers that, right?
This is what happened to people before the internet was invented.
It centred around a popular belief that hundreds of live toads had been discovered entombed in ancient rocks. The rock toad hysteria finally peaked in the 1830s when Oxford geology professor William Buckland buried a number of toads in stone blocks to test their survival skills. Public fascination waned as most died quickly, with the longest surviving 2 years. And that's the end of Henning's lecture. And at the end of that round, Henning, you've managed to smuggle one truth past the rest of the panel, which is that Captain Beanie is the leader of the new Millennium Bean Party. He dresses in baked bean orange, bathes in beans, and devotes his life to baked beans. His party's motto is wind of change, as you said. This orange-painted Welshman in a superhero costume won the 2009 Eccentric of the Year award, bestowed by the Eccentric Club, whose current patron is the Duke of Edinburgh. Captain Beanie, who claims to be from the planet Venus but is actually from Port Talbot, has stood for election to everything from his local borough council to the 2010 general election, where it says here he defeated the UKIP candidate by 69 votes. The question is, should he be able to stand for election if he's from the planet Venus? He probably shouldn't, at which point you say, it's all right, I'm from Port Talbot. Right. Anyway, that means...
That's a very UKIP view of it, though, isn't it?
That means, Henning, that you've scored 1 point. Which brings us to the final scores. In fourth place, with no points, we have Henning Vane. In joint second place with 1 point each, it's Ed Byrne and Richard Osman. And in first place with an unassailable 2 points, it's this week's winner, Holly Walsh. That's about it for this week. Goodbye.
The Unbelievable Truth was devised by John Naismith and Graham Garden.